Could something truly be wrong between Jungkook and Taehyung after a shocking Japan interview? Why are fans suddenly convinced there is hidden tension no one is talking about? And what did Jungkook really mean when he hesitated before answering that question? Keep reading. And don't forget to comment your thoughts, like this update, and subscribe for more breaking BTS theories and stories. What if everything fans thought they understood about Jungkook and Taehyung was suddenly thrown into doubt by just a few seconds of silence in a Japanese interview? What if a single glance, a subtle pause, and an unfinished sentence were enough to ignite a global storm of speculation that something deeper, more emotional, and more complicated was unfolding behind the scenes? And most importantly, why did Jungkook look like he wanted to say something but didn't? It all began during what was expected to be a routine promotional appearance in Japan, a calm and carefully structured interview where BTS-related questions were being handled with the usual polished professionalism fans have come to expect. But according to thousands of viewers who watched the clip repeatedly, something about Jungkook felt noticeably different this time. It wasn't anything obvious at first. It wasn't a statement or a confession. It was something far more subtle, something almost invisible to casual viewers, but impossible to ignore once noticed. Jungkook appeared composed as always, but there was a moment, just a fraction of time, that changed everything for fans. When the interviewer shifted the topic toward group dynamics and individual member updates, Jungkook's expression reportedly shifted in a way that fans immediately began dissecting frame by frame online. His smile, usually effortless and warm, seemed to tighten for a split second. His eyes, often described by fans as expressive and open, reportedly flickered with hesitation before he responded. And then came the moment that set the internet on fire. A question was asked that included reference to Taehyung, and instead of the immediate, fluid response fans expected, Jungkook paused. Not dramatically, not in a way that would raise alarm in isolation, but long enough for fans to notice, long enough for social media to replay it endlessly, long enough for theories to begin forming almost instantly. Was it concern? Was it caution? Or was it something more emotional that he didn't want to express in front of cameras? Fans watching the interview live claimed that Jungkook briefly looked down before answering, as if choosing his words carefully. Some viewers interpreted it as politeness, others as hesitation, and a growing group of fans began to believe it might be something deeper entirely. Something related to Taehyung's current situation, schedule, or even emotional state. Almost immediately, online communities erupted with speculation. Clips of the interview were slowed down, zoomed in, enhanced, and replayed thousands of times. Every micro-expression became a topic of analysis. Every blink, every breath, every pause was assigned meaning by fans desperate to understand whether there was something being hidden from the public eye. Did you see Jungkook's face when Taehyung was mentioned? One fan wrote online. He looked worried. That wasn't normal. Another fan argued the opposite, suggesting that Jungkook was simply being respectful and thoughtful, carefully avoiding misinformation or misinterpretation. But even those trying to dismiss the rumors admitted that the moment felt different, even if they couldn't explain why. The tension grew as more viewers began to revisit older interviews, comparing Jungkook's behavior across different appearances. Suddenly, every minor shift in tone or expression became evidence in a rapidly expanding narrative that something might be going on behind the scenes between the two members. And yet, nothing concrete was said. No confirmation, no denial, only interpretation. What makes this situation even more intense for fans is the long-standing emotional connection they perceive between Jungkook and Taehyung. Over the years, the two have shared countless moments on stage, in behind-the-scenes footage, and in interviews that fans often describe as deeply expressive and emotionally charged. Because of this history, even the smallest deviation in behavior becomes magnified under the public eye. In this recent Japan interview, fans claimed Jungkook's energy felt protective, as if he was aware of something he couldn't openly discuss. Some even went as far as suggesting that his reaction indicated concern for Taehyung's well-being, though there is no verified information supporting any distress or issue involving Taehyung. Still, the emotional reaction online has been overwhelming. Hashtags began trending within hours of the interview clip circulating. Edited videos with dramatic music overlays spread across platforms, each one framing Jungkook's expression as evidence of hidden tension. Comment sections filled with emotional reactions ranging from worry to curiosity to outright disbelief. But amidst the speculation, another layer of interpretation emerged. Some fans argued that the perceived worry might actually be a projection of fandom emotion, rather than an actual signal from Jungkook. They pointed out that interviews often involve translation delays, cultural nuance, and careful phrasing, especially when discussing group members in a public international setting like Japan. In this view, Jungkook's pause could simply reflect thoughtful communication, rather than emotional distress. Yet even this rational explanation did little to calm the growing wave of curiosity, because what fans kept returning to was not just the pause itself, but what they felt it represented. In fandom spaces, meaning is often constructed not only from what is said, but from what is not said. Silence becomes language. Hesitation becomes message. A glance becomes a story. And in this case, Jungkook's brief hesitation became the center of a global narrative that refuses to settle. As the clip continued to spread, viewers began adding their own emotional interpretations. Some described feeling uneasy while watching it. Others said they felt something heavy in the atmosphere of the interview that they couldn't explain logically. A few even claimed that Jungkook's voice sounded slightly different when Taehyung's name was mentioned, though this remains entirely subjective and unverified. What is clear, however, is that the emotional intensity of fandom has transformed a short interview segment into something far larger than itself. Meanwhile, Taehyung himself has not made any public statements connected to the circulating speculation, and there is no confirmed indication of any issue or conflict. Despite this, the narrative continues to grow, fueled entirely by interpretation, emotion, and viral repetition. The situation raises an interesting question about modern celebrity culture and the way audiences engage with micro-moments. In an era where every frame can be slowed down, analyzed, and shared globally within minutes, the boundary between observation and assumption becomes increasingly blurred. A simple pause can evolve into a theory. A neutral expression can become a headline, and a moment that may have meant nothing extraordinary can become the center of worldwide speculation. Still, fans remain divided. Some insist that there is something more behind Jungkook's reaction, pointing to emotional intuition and the long history of perceived closeness between him and Taehyung. Others argue that this is another example of overanalysis, where fans unintentionally construct narratives that are not grounded in reality. But regardless of which side one believes, the impact of the moment is undeniable. It has sparked conversation across platforms, reignited interest in BTS group dynamics, and once again demonstrated how powerful even the smallest gesture can become when viewed through the lens of global fandom. As the interview continues to circulate, slowed down and replayed endlessly, one question keeps resurfacing in comment sections, forums, and reaction videos around the world. Was Jungkook simply thinking carefully before answering? Or did fans witness a rare, unguarded moment of genuine concern for Taehyung that he never intended to reveal? No one has the answer yet, and perhaps that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the story alive. All that remains are fragments of a moment, interpreted in countless ways, shaped by emotion, and amplified by millions of eyes watching for meaning in every detail. And so the question lingers, echoing through every replayed clip and every heated discussion thread online. What did Jungkook really feel in that brief, silent pause in Japan? And why does it feel like something important was left unsaid? And as the discussion refuses to die down, the silence surrounding the moment becomes even louder in the minds of fans. What began as a few seconds of hesitation in a Japan interview has now evolved into a global emotional debate, where every replay seems to reveal something new, something deeper, something that may or may not have ever been intended in the first place. In the hours following the viral spread of the clip, the conversation shifted from simple curiosity into something far more intense. Fans weren't just asking what Jungkook did anymore. They were asking what he felt. And in that shift, the narrative took on a life of its own, no longer anchored only to the interview itself, but to the emotional expectations projected onto it. Some viewers described the moment as too heavy for something ordinary, insisting that Jungkook's energy during the mention of Taehyung carried an emotional weight that couldn't be easily dismissed. They pointed to his brief downward glance again, replaying it as if searching for hidden meaning beneath every frame. Others insisted that his expression showed restraint rather than distress, suggesting that he was simply maintaining professionalism in a media environment where every word would be carefully interpreted. But even among the skeptics, there was an acknowledgement that something about the moment felt unusually soft, almost fragile in tone. Not dramatic, not alarming, but subtly different from the usual flow of interviews fans have seen over the years. As speculation grew, so did emotional responses. Some fans admitted that watching the clip made them feel unexpectedly anxious, while others described a sense of sadness they couldn't explain. It wasn't based on confirmed facts, but on perception, on the way human beings naturally search for emotional patterns in familiar faces, especially those they feel deeply connected to through years of following their journey. And in this case, Jungkook and Taehyung are not just public figures to many fans. They are symbols of friendship, history, growth, and shared experiences that span years of performances, behind-the-scenes moments, and emotionally charged memories. That emotional investment is exactly what turned a brief hesitation into a global talking point. Meanwhile, analysts of fan behavior pointed out how quickly digital interpretation can escalate. A single clip becomes isolated from its original context. Slow-motion edits emphasize micro-expressions. Background music is added to heighten emotional tone. Captions are rewritten to suggest hidden meaning. And within hours, what was once a normal interview moment transforms into something resembling a dramatic narrative. In this case, the Japan interview segment involving Jungkook and the mention of Taehyung became exactly that kind of phenomenon. Yet amid the noise, a quieter perspective began to surface. Some fans urged caution, reminding others that interviews, especially in international settings, often involve translation delays, cultural nuance, and careful phrasing. They emphasized that pauses are not unusual, and that public figures frequently take time to choose words precisely to avoid misinterpretation. According to this viewpoint, Jungkook's pause was not emotional distress, but linguistic care. Not hidden worry, but thoughtful communication. Not a secret message, but a moment of reflection in a high-pressure media environment. Still, even this logical explanation could not fully dissolve the emotional impact the clip had already created. Because once a narrative becomes emotionally charged, it no longer depends solely on facts to survive. It is carried forward by feeling, by curiosity, and by the human tendency to seek meaning in ambiguity. And in this case, ambiguity was everywhere. Jungkook's expression, the timing of the pause, the mention of Taehyung, the silence that followed before he continued speaking. Each detail became a thread, and fans began weaving them into different interpretations, each more elaborate than the last. As the discussion expanded, some fans even revisited older interviews and interactions between Jungkook and Taehyung, searching for patterns that might support the idea that something had changed. They compared tones of voice, body language, and eye contact across different years, trying to determine whether this Japan interview moment marked a shift or was simply being misread. However, no clear conclusion emerged. Instead, what formed was a divided community of interpretation, where belief depended less on evidence and more on emotional perspective. Some saw concern. Some saw nothing unusual. Some saw a mystery. Others saw overthinking. And yet the question persisted, repeated endlessly across comment sections and reaction videos. Why did it feel like Jungkook was holding something back? As the clip continued circulating, even neutral viewers who had no prior investment in the discussion found themselves drawn into it. Not because of what was said, but because of what was not said. The absence of clarity created space for imagination, and imagination filled that space quickly. Meanwhile, Taehyung remained absent from the conversation entirely, with no public reference to the speculation. That silence in itself became part of the narrative for some fans, who interpreted it in different ways depending on their perspective. But there was no verified connection between his current activities and the emotional interpretations being attached to the interview clip. Still, the story grew, and perhaps the most fascinating part of it all was not the interview itself, but how quickly a single moment can transform into something emotionally global in scale. It demonstrated how modern fandom culture operates in real time, where emotion, interpretation, and digital amplification merge into a single evolving narrative. As days passed, the intensity of the initial reaction began to spread into more reflective discussions. Some fans started questioning the nature of speculation itself, asking whether they were seeing truth or simply reacting to emotional suggestion. Others remained firm in their belief that Jungkook's reaction indicated something meaningful that had not yet been revealed. But regardless of where anyone stood, one fact remained undeniable. The moment had left an impact far beyond its duration. A few seconds in an interview had turned into hours of discussion, thousands of interpretations, and an ongoing emotional debate that showed no signs of fully disappearing. And so the question still hangs in the air, unresolved and open-ended, echoing through every replayed clip and every rewritten caption across social platforms. Was Jungkook's hesitation in Japan a simple moment of careful thought, or did fans accidentally witness a glimpse of something deeper between him and Taeyong that words were never meant to explain?